And I told her, I don't care if he is her husband. Right now.
It's time to rise from the grave, pour yourself a cup, and enjoy the coffee crypt.
Voices from the Mausoleum is brought to you by the You Run Podcast Network and yourunpodcast.com. And a very special thank you to our Patreon subscribers.
Hey fam, Newman here from Movies for Days, your non-pretentious easy access movie chat podcast and weekly deep dive into any film from any genre, from any decade with anybody's guess as to how we chose that movie that week. Proud member of the You Run Podcast Network. Check us out where all great podcasts can be heard. And on Twitter at Movies Days. Movies is spelled regular, Days is spelled with a Z.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Coffee Crypt.
I forgot my coffee cup.
Oh my God.
Oh well, that's all right. Water today.
That's like, I mean, I'm not drinking coffee, but it's cherry Coke. But I always try to have a cup, to cheers.
Just brain fart. I mean,
'tis okay.
I blame the eclipse. Isn't that what everyone's doing?
And Mercury's in retrograde until the 25th. You're allowed to,
There you go. The universe is against me.
You're allowed some grace. And then certain signs right now are affected. I don't know. But yes, all good.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Coffee Crypt. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah. But you know what? We rarely miss a cycle, right? I feel like once in a blue moon, but every 2 weeks, like clockwork, we're waking up on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm. That's the hope, anyway. That's the dream, the hope, the wish, the want.
Wake up with us.
Yeah. So weird week in general, because like you said, we had the eclipse.
We had an earthquake.
You had an earthquake, and then aftershock, and
it's wild. And I know like people in California are probably like rolling their eyes, but it's like when you're in New York, you're not used to that.
Yeah.
And like, in New York, not to get depressing, but New Yorkers have a very specific trauma. So when the city starts shaking, you never really know what's coming.
It's like immediate PTSD. You're just like,
it's like immediate. You know what I mean? So not to bring all that up, but
no, I know what you mean though.
Yeah. It's, and well, actually now it's funny because I never paid attention to seismologists, and I'm sure they were like, it's our time to shine. So like now I'm like, all right, what do the earthquake specialists say about this, right? And I'm like, they're like, we're predicting this much percent of an aftershock, and I'm like, oh, but now it's funny after the aftershock, because I figured, all right, it happened and it was like a one and done. Okay.
Yeah.
Then the aftershock happened, and now I'm like sort of like anticipating it to happen again, and it's sort of this weird moment of like, just bracing myself weirdly.
Oh no. Yeah, we don't have
no damage, nothing horrible, because I know, and I don't want to make light of it because I know that they just had a horrible earthquake in was it Taiwan? I can't remember which country it was, but there was just a really bad earthquake overseas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't get them here, so.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know if it's part of climate change, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. Did you get to see the eclipse?
Yeah. What's really funny? So my cousin-in-law, my husband's cousin, works for the New York Public Library, so we got free glasses because they were doing everything. Yeah. Cool. So we got glasses from them. But I actually had a session because, one of my clients during that, but it was a phone session. So I'm in the backyard with my like eclipse glasses conducting a therapy session, like, yeah, and yes. And like, very funny. I mean, I was very present in the session. The client.
Oh, yeah, no.
But I was like, just so I could see it,
Yeah.
But did you with glasses? What did you?
So I completely forgot about it. I had to sign a permission thing for O to have.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to do the glasses to go see it. And he did get to see it. I did not even think about it for myself. And so one of my coworkers came out and was like, hey, you can use the welder's mask if you want to go out and look. And I was like, that's a really good idea. He was like, no, it's an older welder's mask. So don't just like stare at it. But if you want to look up for a couple seconds. And so it was like almost like a puppet. It was like a handheld one.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just went outside and like looked, for like a couple seconds. And then It was cool though. We didn't get totality or anything. It was still really cool to see. And then when I was talking to my son about it, he was like, I didn't get to see the moon. And I was like, no, like the black part. Like I was trying to explain it to him. And he was so frazzled because I think he felt so let down by the experience. Because first of all, he was really upset that the glasses were made of paper. I think he expected sunglasses. And so he was like, why were they made of paper? That's so stupid. And I was like, okay, first of all, be nice. Like they didn't have to give you glasses at all, you know? And he was like, but why are they made like that? And I was like, baby, all eclipse glasses are made like that. That's just how they're made.
Right.
He was like, and I didn't even get to see the moon. And I was like, okay, when you looked at it, did you see that there was a black part over the sun? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, that's what they were talking about. That's it. And he goes, I don't want to hear it, Mom.
Well, I hope he has a better experience in 40 years.
Just like he was so upset and just like, I don't want to discuss this right now. I'm upset. Like it was just and I was just like,
man. Yeah, well, you know what? It got talked up so much to the kids, I'm sure, that it probably seemed like this a magical, which just talks to probably that childhood innocence, that like hope for magic, and you know.
Yeah. And meanwhile, all the adults are like, "Oh my god, it's so cool!"
Right,
you know,
well,
like. But yeah, so yeah, and then I was thinking, I was like, I don't know why I didn't think to plan something for that night, and then Kat and I ended up doing that last minute live with the Eclipse movie, House of the Devil. But I was just like, we were talking about it, and I was like, dang, I was like, I should have planned. I don't know where I've been these last few weeks. There's just been too much going on, I guess.
It's a lot, you know. You can't do something special for everything, you know.
Yeah, no. I mean, that worked out. It was last minute, but it was chill and it was super fun. Like I can't wait to do more of those.
Watch along. Yeah, absolutely.
That was really fun, and there was literally someone who interacted the whole time and watched along with us, which was really cool. You know.
Yeah.
So
thank you to that person.
Yeah. That was really cool.
Do you remember who it was? Or no?
It was D. Oh shoot.
Just so we can go. If not, we'll give you a special shout out.
It was. No, I can tell you. I just got to look really quick. Yeah, I didn't expect people to stay the whole time. Like Norin came and said hi. Radar came. No, somebody else came by. I can't remember who it was. Somebody else came by them and said hello, and then but this other person like stayed the entire time, you know, and
That's so cool.
It was cool. And their movie was a little bit ahead of mine. So there was like, I was laughing because there was this part where they gave me a spoiler, but I thought they were just like joking about it.
Oh, wait, had you not seen it before?
No, this was a first watch for me.
Oh, that's good.
No, it is. That's what I was saying. Like I really liked it. I had never seen it before. And I think because I thought it was an old movie because it looks like it's from the 80s. Mm-hmm. I was like,
Ty West can really nail that aesthetic. Like he does period pieces so well.
Yes. And so that was one of those things where I was just like, okay, well, this is an older movie. You know, I'm not going to prioritize it. But yeah, it was really cool though. And Kat is a big fan of that movie and she wanted to talk about, you know, she was all down. She was totally down to hang out and talk movies or whatever. But no, it was a cool experience because she was like, oh, I just sit here and watch the movie. I'm like, I mean, that is part of it. Like you can't talk and entertain the whole time you're watching it, especially if it's a first watch.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I guess this was like the period of time where like he didn't comment, of course. I'm trying to find it really quick.
Don't stress. If you find it,
well, you know when it's live and you go.
Oh, there is a live chat recap, right? When you go back to watch a pre-recorded bit.
Where?
I don't know. I don't know where you could find that button, but there is like a live chat recap.
No, and then I turned on the closed caption. Okay, DE_VING. That's the YouTube account. It's somebody on Twitter that I follow as well. So
cool.
But no, so that was cool. But so it's been a nice week.
Yeah.
And I was saying we didn't have any news, and then literally today I was like, well, let me go add all this stuff to the thing. I was like, we only got like a couple of trailers, but there was news and stuff that dropped literally today, between yesterday and today. And I was like, well, dang.
Yeah. No, like everything, a lot of stuff dropped this week. If not recently as well, like within the last week or two.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just realizing I didn't have a Never mind. I was trying to pull up an IMDb but that's a later story. No worries. Wait, I'll pull it up when we get to it. But why don't we head right on into our trailers?
Yeah.
So the first trailer we have is for Cuckoo, written and directed by Tillman Singer, starring Hunter Schafer and Dan Stevens, who I love Hunter Schafer, but I love Dan Stevens.
Oh, I love Hunter Schafer. Like, I just literally,
like great duo to have, right? Well, Hunter we have from Euphoria, right? Hunger Games, recent.
Hunger Games, yeah.
And then Dan Stevens, with Downton Abbey, he was in Legion, he is in Beauty and the Beast. He did, what else did he do? The Guest, he's going to be in Abigail.
Who was he in Legion?
Legion. Oh no, sorry.
Oh, the show. Legion.
The show, the X-Men show. Sorry.
Okay. Then I have no idea who he is.
The X-Men show Legion, not Angel Legion. Sorry. I should have clarified. I know it's one of your favorites.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what the hell?
I was like, who was he?
Alternate universe version of that movie. Obviously, he's in the new Godzilla film. But yeah, anyway, phenomenal.
He is? Yeah. Oh my God, he's the funny mechanic-y guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks really different in this. I did not recognize him at all.
But Cuckoo looks very interesting. I mean, so just a very short synopsis from IMDb. It's a 17-year-old girl forced to move in with her family to a resort where things are not what they seem. Obviously, very broad but they're going to, I think, Germany to move in with it. Just sort of, so you get that sort of isolated Euro. I want to say hostile, but it's not. This is not hostile at all. But
no.
Yeah, but that like isolation European kind of film. They're sort of out in the middle of nowhere, and there is some like really weird. Like she's seeing people running around. It looks like there's some experiments happening.
Yeah, it was not super clear, but I think it's setting it up for success, honestly.
I mean, again, we're getting back to vague trailers again. Finally. I think a lot of people have learned. I feel like we make the mistake, we ruin a handful of movies. Studios learn,
right?
They correct, and then eventually in 10 years we're gonna go back to showing too much again.
It's just a rotation of events.
Yeah.
Yes.
But now, pretty good. I think they're keeping enough under the. They're sort of doing the no matter, not to say it's going to be the quality, like for better or worse of Barbarian. I don't mean to compare it in that way, but just the way that trailer hid their twist.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that there's sort of like a really cool layer that we don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it looks really good. I mean, honestly, they had me at Hunter Schafer, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I like anything she's in.
Well,
anybody from Euphoria, if they're in something, I'm watching it. Like, it's really, but yeah, I liked that. I don't really know what's going on. Like, I feel like it was a really chaotic trailer, but it was enough. Like, it gave you enough to be like, that's creepy, or like to kind of, I think, set the tone for what like maybe the expectation should be going in. But it was really vague.
Yeah, it's about like, well, there are lines about elevating the species, or like, I don't know. Are they experimenting on humans to make humans better? Or are they using humans to make other things better?
Because I couldn't tell if there was paranormal elements or not. Is it paranormal? Is it not paranormal? Like, you can't really tell.
I think it might. Yeah, I don't know. I think it might end up being like more like a sci-fi horror.
Could be.
Because it talks about body horror. I think it's going to be like just sort of mad scientist experimentations, maybe.
Yeah.
Quasi zombie-esque, Frankenstein-esque elements.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. And it's coming August 9th, so it's gonna be a nice late summer horror movie.
Yeah.
My favorite. I just sort of love a summer horror movie. Especially as you get into like, the dog days of August, and it's like you're hoping for fall, and
starting to get ready for the season. Everybody starts putting skeletons out. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh, it's like my Christmas.
I know, it's the best. And then I get seasonal depression when it's over. I'm like, oh God, now I gotta wait a whole nother year to be that happy about anything. Ugh.
Well, that's part of why we do this, right? So at least we get to talk about horror.
That's true.
All year round. But yeah, but that's Cuckoo, and that's also coming out from Neon, which Neon is
Yes.
making a name for themselves in horror, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's crazy right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to be competing with. Well, you look at A24. I know you're not a super big A24 person, but I like that at least other studios are now popping up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll never, even if it's not my cup of tea, I'll never complain about new horror. That's not. That's
Yeah.
never a complaint.
Just I hate when there's a monopoly, right? Like you have like Blumhouse sort of getting all the praise, and then A24 sort of only being the other competition. Now it seems like okay, now Neon is really gonna step up and spread the wealth.
I think their two movies are going to be standouts for the year, for real.
The Neon, right? So so
this and Long Legs
are going to be there too. They didn't have a third? I almost remember seeing the Neon logo on something else, but maybe not. I could just be.
I can't remember. Those are the big two, though.
Those are the big two.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, so that's Cuckoo. Cuckoo. I never know.
I say cuckoo, like
cuckoo, like a cuckoo clock, right?
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay. Yeah, and then we finally got a trailer for Under Paris, our new show.
They held off real close to the release date to show us
something. When we first talked about it, when we talked about the announcement of it, we were both just like, can't wait to see the trailer. That was like a million years ago. Like it was so long ago. And so the trailer just came out this week. It just came out this week. And it's going to be on Netflix May 5th. Which means I can see it when it comes out, which is exciting. I don't have to wait. And so, the synopsis for this is: in order to save Paris from an international bloodbath, a grieving scientist is forced to face her tragic past when a giant shark appears in the Seine. Seine?
The Seine? I think it's
Seine? French, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. First of all, this movie looks amazing.
It looks beautiful.
It's stunningly shot. The shark looks great. Like he looks amazing.
The CGI looks great. Like,
so good. And there's some shots in the trailer that are just like breathtaking. Like the one that comes up when you Google the movie right now is like the one where they're underwater looking at each other, the shark and the woman.
Yes.
And I'm just like, so much anxiety. But no, it looks really cool.
I really liked was when I think they're in under the tunnels or something, and it just was sort of a sweeping shot, and it just the way that it was framed looked really cool.
So the person, scared me. So the people behind this are like rock stars with cinematography. So this is, I mean, look wise, I'm not worried. The story we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
The last grief shark movie I saw was The Requiem, and I hated it.
Yeah.
But this looks like this is going to be an action-packed, serious shark movie.
It feels like Jaws, but bigger.
Yes. And the thing is like, I watch the silly shark movies. We've talked about them before. Like, I will watch whatever if it's sharks for the most part. But like, I prefer serious shark movies.
Yeah.
I don't like the silly ones as much. And I think this is going to be a reminder that, oh, hey, remember, sharks are scary, man.
Yeah.
Like they're scary. And so the other thing is like this, what's about to go on is they're about to do the triathlon route. So there's gonna be all these people in the water.
Which is a cool way to have stakes, right?
Concept wise, like,
yeah.
So good. So some of the scenes in the trailer with that, where there's all the people in the water and then you see one get drug out and you're like, oh my God, why are those people not getting out of the water? Like they were not moving fast enough for me, but I guess it happened so fast, reaction time. But no, this looks good. The people look serious. It looks like it's going to be really intense and a lot of shark and a lot of action, which I'm here for. And like I said, the shark looks amazing. He looks so good. So I am I am so pumped for this movie. Like I cannot wait to see it.
It looks like a thrill ride. I don't think it's a super long movie either. I think it's just like about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer, which is I think short, for a shark film is what you need. Mm-hmm. Although Jaws might have been a couple hours. I don't know. But that was a little different. That had more character study too. I don't,
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because you had a lot of time with the sheriff. But I liked it. I'd be curious to sort of see, like, of course we have a very like with Jaws, it's a very American, approach of like summertime, the beaches, how we sort
4th
of,
of
it was a
July.
very capitalist sort of message or
Yes.
anti-capitalist. I don't know.
Yes. No, it is.
Or smart capitalism, I guess it should be, treating people better.
Yeah.
Whereas I'll be curious how a French film sort of tackles that, because they clearly aren't calling off the triathlon.
Yeah, they were like, figure it out. You got 2 days.
Right. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
because they're like, this probably brings in a lot of money to the city,
Probably. Yeah.
and it's like, well, all right.
Yeah. I'm
Reap what
interested
you
in
sow.
this grief component. I wonder how much of because it seems, did you get the impression that the main female is connected to the shark somehow?
There's the
And
history, right?
She asked him, she was like, how did she get here? And she's
Yeah.
talking about the shark.
Was she? Well, wait, because she studies them, right? So
is it just a general thing, or does she know this shark? Like
maybe she was studying the shark. I mean, maybe they weren't super clear in the show. Maybe she was studying it, sort of a la Deep Blue Sea kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then like something happened, and then now it's for some reason it's in Paris, and so it's sort
and
of
they
like
tracked it or something.
So maybe something happened,
Yeah.
like while she's studying, like hence the grief, right?
It looks so good.
It does look really cool.
I'm so excited. It's been so long since I've been this excited about a shark movie. I'm so excited.
It's like playing because I'm on the IMDb. It's sort of playing as we're talking, and I'm like, this just like even like the big CGI moments.
And so, have you seen Frontiers?
No, and I need to, because I know this is
because
Xavier.
Right? So the director Xavier Gens is who's doing this, and he's known for the big two. I think are Mayhem and Frontiers, but Frontiers was like. It was so good. And it's grimy. Like it's dark and bloody and gory. And so that gives me confidence with this, because I feel like that means that, they weren't going to shy away from those types of, I mean, it's rated R anyway, but I think it's rated R. It's rated R. I think so. But yeah, I think like, it just makes me feel like, he's not going to shy away from things that make that happen, because it's a comfort level, Yeah.
I mean, he's going to sort of show the brutal side of nature here.
Yeah.
Right.
So
which is
literally dying. Cannot wait.
This is going to be a night one, like when it drops on Netflix.
1,000%. No, if it's on a weekday, I don't know if it is or not, but if it's on a weekday, I'm going to come home and watch it with my kid.
Yeah. If it's a weekday, it'll probably be like a Thursday. If not, it'll be a Friday, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think TV shows, they drop throughout the week. I think movies, they tend to try to maybe save for weekends. Maybe.
We'll see.
Remember.
Yeah.
I could just be making that up because I don't work at Netflix. I don't freaking know.
Yeah. But either way, no, you're right. I will watch this the day that it comes out, period. Like I won't be able to wait.
We'll have to do, we should do a review.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it. Because this is a big one.
Yeah. We're really excited. We've been excited for this one.
But yeah, so our next trailer is for horror adjacent. I would say Joker, Falia Du.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix returning to play Joker from the first one, with our fave Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn. The style is beautiful. I mean, I love the style of the original Joker too, the first one that they did. I just thought it was so cool. And I mean, I like that it wasn't really connected to a larger DC universe. It just sort of was allowed to be its own thing.
There's nods to other things throughout, but it's done as like a tasteful little respect note,
Right. Like you don't need to watch 10 movies to understand it.
Hell no. This was
Yeah. So I really love that we're just sort of enjoying this character, and then now to add Harley Quinn to it. And Lady Gaga we were talking about this before we recorded. She is just such a good actress. And she has the range. She can do sort of poppy fun.
Yep.
Obviously, there was Star is Born, but then for us, right, horror fans, she was the Countess in American Horror Story, and then she did sort of that grindhouse Machete Kills. She played La Chameleon in that.
She also did a completely different role when she was in Roanoke, the season
from Roanoke. She was the Wood Witch.
Yes,
she was the Wood Witch.
But like, that's completely different from any of those roles. Like, she's very versatile.
Yeah, she can do a lot.
So talented. Yes.
She's coming. I think she's won an Emmy. She hasn't. Did she win the Oscar for music though? I don't think so. She hasn't won the Oscar
Oh,
yet, but I think
okay.
she's had the Emmy. She has the Grammy. I don't know if she's had a Tony.
She
So I
should
think
have all of the things.
she's trying to go for the EGOT, which is when you get all four.
All four.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. It's when you get, there's only a handful of celebrities that have that. I think she could be one of the new ones.
Yeah.
But anyway, on
She's
to
brilliant.
Joke With All You Do. I think this looks stunning. I just sort of love the imagine. I forgot who tweeted this. They were just like, it almost feels like a nightmarish La La Land of like they're in this asylum together, but then all of a sudden there's like a Singing in the Rain reference, or they're on stage and
Yep.
she just looks good with the makeup. And because she didn't really say too much in the trailer. None of them really did. It was very sort of.
All she said was, "I'm nobody."
Yeah. She's going to tell you a lot about where she is as a character when they meet, right?
No. It looks like it's going to be a different story, though. She's not a doctor. Or if she is, maybe she was. But it looked like we're going to meet her as a patient and them meeting for the first time is kind of how it came across to me. Apparently this is going to be a musical. Did you know that?
Yeah. Well, I heard that. They didn't show musical numbers, but I think
I noticed that. Yeah. So
head, right.
We'll see. Yeah. But it makes me feel like it's probably going to go in the direction of like what he thinks life is versus what it actually is. Kind of like where we saw the stage scene and then all of a sudden they were in the middle of the street.
Well, right. In their head, they're doing a musical, right?
But right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's going to be kind of like that because concept wise, I don't know how you would just all of a sudden make it a musical. That seems like a weird thing to do. But if they do it that way, I mean, that could be really good. But yeah, I think aesthetically, this looks great. I love him. I love her. So I am like, and I know like people are already in their feelings about, it's not Margot Robbie. And my response to that is good because give me dark. Like I don't want a silly take. And I mean, like I hate when people romanticize those characters so much. Like you see the memes that are like, I want a relationship like Joker and Harley Quinn. And I'm like, do you though? Like, somebody didn't read comic books or watch cartoons when they were growing up because like there's an episode of the animated series where he straight leaves her to go to jail by herself and he's like, see ya.
Yeah,
like
it's not obviously it's not a healthy relationship.
It's not. And her being this like heroine character, I'm not about it.
No, like I don't think she needs like the Suicide Squad setup, I understand. It's sort of like, okay, we need you guys to do this thing, but we're sort of the government and we're making you do it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But just to sort of just be an anti-hero just because we want to make the character good so more people can like them and buy our stuff about them. No, like these are wild, bad people.
Yes.
In the Batman universe. And they're locked up for a reason. And it's
the only anti-hero allowed in that brand, franchise, story, series, whatever, is Catwoman.
Oh,
she's the only allowed morally ambiguous one where you can love her and then be like, maybe wouldn't trust her, but also like you still love her.
Her crimes, I think, just being thievery. I think
right. She's not blowing things up or no. And not under the fake guise of being in love either, because like some of the Harley stories that are out there make me want to throw up. But anyway, I digress. But this is going to be, I think, a very good take on this character, and I think it's going to really show just how not you want your relationship to be like this.
I mean, you can still love the character, but admit like they're terrible people.
They're
but
awful people.
You don't have to make them good.
Yes.
Yes.
Jesus.
How about that shot at the end with the makeup?
And he lines his face up. That was good.
That was really cool.
She's an enabler.
She is. She is. I like that she's not a doctor here. I could see them maybe nodding to it, like maybe like they sort of do a little role play thing, or maybe she pretends to be like a psychiatrist or something.
I can see that, yeah.
But just sort of in a playful way. But I like that she's sort of a patient there.
No, I am so excited for this. I have been waiting on images and stuff for this for a while because I like when they told me they were adding her, I was like, oh, I'm prioritizing that.
It's so I mean, genius casting,
She's just brilliant. Ugh.
But that's this it's October 4th.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a good October movie.
Yeah. Be a good October movie. Yeah, so we also got a trailer this week for Evil season 4, which is the final season, which comes out May 23rd on Paramount Plus. And I mean, synopsis wise, it's a series. Steve hasn't watched it yet. He's going to, but he hasn't watched it yet. And the synopsis I would give, because I'm not going to tell too much information, is we wrapping our story up. We're going to finally get all of our characters in a row and all of these things, and it's just wrapping up the loose ends because it's the final season. I literally just binged all of the first 3 season 1, 2, and 3 a few weeks ago because I saw that they had finally announced that it was a final season, and I get leery of starting shows when there's multiple seasons and I don't know if they're going to be canceled or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I kept wanting to watch it. I was like, oh God, I want to watch it. And I was like, no, I'm going to wait and see. So anyway, I binged it. It was my whole personality for like 2 weeks. And it's such a great show. Like, and we were talking about this a little bit before. The show originally starts out a little more serious, but it kind of embraced its silliness and the way that it tells the story. And it just makes the characters like so much better. What's the guy's name that plays Seb and Saw?
Oh, Michael Emerson.
Michael, yeah. So he's a big player. He's in it.
He's so good. From Saw, first thing I knew was Lost when he was in that. But then we were also saying I didn't know Andrea Martin. You were saying she's like the badass nun.
Yeah, she's a great character. I'm so glad that she's in this next season. You will, when you do watch it, she doesn't come in until season 3. But when you do watch it, you will absolutely love the portrayal of the character that she does because it's so great and memorable, and you're just like, like, okay, nun, like it's good. It's so good.
You know what horror movie she started in?
What's the name? What's her name?
It's Andrea Martin. I know you don't remember actors and actresses, but I just wanted to ask you, just because you're gonna love it. One of your favorites. She's in Black Christmas.
Why can't I picture her? Who was she? Is it because she's so old now?
Well, yeah. Remember, just think perm glasses.
Oh. I didn't know that's what that was. Yeah, I don't know that and this stuff. Especially because that came out in this late 70s and this was like 2024.
Yeah,
but
I forget the character's name in Black Christmas, but yeah.
I know who you're talking about though. Yeah. No, I do. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, no, I didn't realize that. But yeah, that's not like.
So there's the horror connection though, because she's
seriously great in this. And the guy that plays David, I don't know his name either. I mean, literally everybody that plays in this is great. And I am like, and the woman that plays the main character, Kristen, is like, she just is like everything I want to be, like as a mom, as a person. Like I love her so much. Like, anyway, so it looks like there's going to be a lot of new monsters, a lot of silliness, some funny things.
I love the costuming. It was very Buffy-esque. I really sort of I love going back to practical costumes for monsters and villains.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Did you see the pig one?
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
And robots, I guess.
I can't wait to see. Yeah, I'm so pumped. When this drops on the 23rd of May, like that, I'm going to be watching all of them because I'm
curious. Because I know Antichrist stories sort of get overdone. I'll be curious what their take on it is.
Yeah, because her mom in the trailer says, well, what happens if you baptize him? And you're just like, you can burn that baby alive in that tub of water.
Right. Like, I don't know.
So, yeah, there's a lot going on with the baby story, but you'll get there when you watch it.
Yeah. I'm excited to really dive in. And I'll probably finish through it real fast.
It's so good. Yeah, I got through it in no time because it was like I said, my whole personality for like it. I also was watching it, I think, when I was in recovery. So like I didn't have to, I was work from home and stuff. So I just watched it like all the time. But it's super good. But yeah, so the new and final season of Evil will be out on Paramount Plus May 23rd.
Now to talk about Angel's favorite. No.
Yeah, I'll just sit here. You go ahead.
No, I'm gonna just what I wasn't able to fit into my 1 minute reaction to the MaXXXine trailer, just because it's hard to say a lot in a minute.
It is, yeah.
Cool. I mean, I know we talked about Ty West and how he sort of nailed the 70s aesthetic in
House of the Devil.
House of the Devil. It nails the 80s aesthetic here. It's to a T. It is stunning. I really love, like, just Scream is amazing in terms of the meta, but the way that Ty West is doing meta in this trilogy feels
Mhm.
so organic. It
Hmm.
is really cool. And meta in the way of like, the very grindhouse 70s Texas Chainsaw, that kind of stuff. Pearl being sort of like that MGM Wizard of Oz. And now with MaXXXine, I mean, the references. I mean, there's MaXXXine. She's at the Bates Motel backlot tour. She's in. Like, we have the VHS tape stuff. Like, all the actors getting their start in horror get referenced. Like, it almost feels like you're getting a Randy sort of monologue, but
Yeah.
as a movie.
Yeah.
Without sort of explicitly laying out rules. It just sort of feels like it's existing with all of this movie, not just horror knowledge, all
Yeah.
this movie knowledge. I think it's cool that we're getting Night Stalker. I don't think he's gonna be a villain. I don't think we're gonna get him at all. Actually, I think it's gonna be a red herring of like, there's the Night Stalker stuff is happening,
Mhm.
but whoever's also doing the killing is sort of hiding in his shadows
Mhm.
and sort of copycatting and whatever.
Yeah.
Because we're also getting like this whole private detective story, because MaXXXine is a runaway from like a really evangelical preacher cult situation. And I think they're looking for her, hence why they hire Kevin Bacon to go after her. So there's like a lot of plots happening, but it looks so cool. The cast is incredible. The music was on point. Yeah, and I'm just curious what they're going to have to say about the industry. And how women are looked at, because that's sort of the big crux of it. Is it's a
Mhm.
lot about how women have to live by certain expectations when it comes to their own sexuality, and like you get that with X, and then sort of like the sexual revolution of the 70s, but then you get this flashback to the 30s where Pearl is so repressed, and it sort of
Mhm.
becomes this very like just carnal thing that eats her away at her. And then with MaXXXine, it almost feels like, again, a metaphor for women trying to embrace their own sexuality. And it's just such a cool. Anyway, I'm excited, but I don't want to bore you. I just needed to. That was more of. I needed to process a little bit more than the 60-second short.
Yeah. No, I mean, people seem excited. Kat's really bothered and annoyed about the Night Stalker thing, and the trailer has her having doubts about the movie.
I know. I think she can rest easy. I don't think they're going the like. I don't think it's going to be a big thing. I think it's just it's a red herring. It's like
Yeah.
in the background because
Yeah.
it takes place in Hollywood in the 80s. That's what was going on in Hollywood in the 80s.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
that's fair.
because she also mentioned American Horror Story, and well, American Horror Story is not going to handle anything pretty well after post a certain point in the series. I mean, we like Hotel, we like Roanoke, we like, once they hit a certain season, they just started going nuts.
Yeah. I gave up at Apocalypse.
That season made me so angry.
We got to the
I
part in
feel like
Apocalypse where they bring the witches back, and I turned my TV off.
it was too much.
I'm like,
And then
so
like they
he's
did a
supposed to
whole
be
time
that.
travel thing, which was unnecessary.
I
But
can't. Yeah. I don't.
spoilers though, for a 1984, the American Horror Story season, obviously they had Ramirez in it, and I think that's what kind of burned Cat a little bit. But I'm like, that's also Ryan Murphy. Like, as long as if they do have Richard Ramirez in this movie, as long as they don't have him like levitating in the woods, resurrecting via satanic ritual, I think we'll be okay. Ryan Murphy did some crazy shit with that character, and I'm like, I don't think Ty
Okay.
West is going to be.
Yeah.
I think we're okay. But all that to say, I'm very excited. It's coming out July 7th. So I think it's like technically like 4th of July weekend, because I think 4th of July is like a weekday.
Middle of the week.
Middle of the week. So it's going to be, so that's pretty confident of the studios to be putting this movie out 4th of July weekend. That is a movie making weekend. Like, that is a moneymaker. So they have confidence.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see. So, anywho, that's my rant on MaXXXine. Can't wait to see it. And that's going to bring us to news and trending.
Yeah.
I know. This first one's a very complicated one.
We got the unfortunate announcement this week that Blumhouse has ink dried paperwork supposedly with Lionsgate to do a reimagining of the Blair Witch Project.
So does this fit under? I'm very curious. Does this fit under remakes or does this fit under found footage Fridays? Because when this eventually drops, which one are you going to cover it under?
Well, I guess it depends on if it's found footage, right?
Oh, that's true. That's very true because there's more to the story, right? As far as what he's taught, what he is it what the director or the writer said about Book of Shadows?
I know that. So okay, so first, the thing is you know what the worst part about this news is now all these people, all these Book of Shadows people are coming out of the shadows and talking about how it's like such a great movie. And I'm just like, because their point, right, is that you can do something else with the Blair Witch Project, but it doesn't have to be like, I don't know, like they're like, oh, well, this was such a great sequel. And so obviously good. So I disagree. I think 2016 was pretty good of a sequel to the Blair Witch. I really liked that one. I don't think that I don't think it nothing is ever going to be the first Blair Witch, and I'm okay with that. I am not bothered by the fact that they're doing something with a Blair Witch. I am bothered that it's Blumhouse. That is what bothers me the most because Blumhouse right now is Scott said this perfect. They mass produce horror, which means that I'm not saying that certain people that work for them or under them or whatever don't put in the time. That's not quite what I mean. But they are like pumping out horror right now. And it feels nerve-wracking because I feel like something as iconic as Blair Witch needs to be taken very well care. I want to see it handled respectfully with a lot of love.
It's true that when you overproduce, your attention to detail isn't as strong, or you're rushing people, so maybe they're not making the best decisions. They're not no matter how well intentioned or how hard working, it's like you can't rush people.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, I don't know, I'm genuinely nervous about this. Like, okay, so the announcement came out. The guy that works with Lionsgate is Adam Fogelson. I'm not saying his name. But his whole thing is, we are thrilled to kick this partnership off with a new vision for Blair Witch, which will reintroduce this horror classic for a new generation. We couldn't be more pleased to be working with them on this and other projects we look forward to revealing soon. The problem is where is the mention of any of the original people that worked on this film? Right. Because I don't know.
Not even as a consult, not even as a
not that we're aware of. Maybe it's a surprise. It could happen. Maybe it's a surprise. Maybe this is the start of it. But I don't like that he said that they're going to try to do something different. Because what if because in my opinion, Book of Shadows did something very different. And I hate that movie. I think that movie is super unwatchable. I had to rewatch it recently to talk about it on another podcast. And I wanted to jump off a bridge. Like, I hate that movie so much. And it's hard for me to be balanced about it because of how much I hate it. And I don't loathe movies that often, but that's one of them. I hate that movie.
Yeah.
And
I'm all for sequels and a lot of stuff.
No, I preach about that all the time, and I'm a huge advocate for remakes.
But I think the big but here is I think it is very transparent here with Blumhouse is that they are really just picking it for its name. And they're not doing anything. They said, okay, they want to do something new and exciting and different, but then why call it Blair Witch Project, right?
It's going to be, oh my God, what was the movie that just came out like that? Oh, I know. It didn't just come out. Wrong Turn.
Oh, yeah.
The remake Wrong Turn is not a Wrong Turn movie. It just went under that name. It had nothing to do with any of the original stories. The difference being, of course, it was the same person who did the others, which, okay, fine. It's still a dumb decision, but fine, his decision. But it's like, I am so worried that it's just going to be, I don't know. First of all, if it's not found footage, I will be pissed. Like, pissed. Yeah. You don't get to take the most iconic movie in found footage, reimagine it, and it not be found footage. I will be livid. I will not watch it. Like, I will be so upset.
I think that's fair.
But I feel like they know that.
I think well, now we're sort of we're getting into 90s nostalgia now. I think we did our 80s nostalgia.
Sure.
Now we're getting into our 90s nostalgia, and I think everyone associates the original with found footage. So I think they're trying to get butts and seats. So I think you're right in terms of I think they know that fans are expecting found footage.
Has Blumhouse done a found footage movie?
I don't know. Was that movie The Gallows found footage?
It was found footage. Is that Blumhouse?
Was that Blumhouse?
I don't know. It got a low rating for me, so that would explain it. Let me see. Blumhouse found footage. I wonder, but I think they do know that they can't do.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Here's another one. So the good news is they did the Next of Kin.
Oh, okay. So
they did Next of Kin, The Gallows, but here's the one that makes me want to vomit. You ready? Dash Cam.
Oh, that's right. It was a Blumhouse TV thing, or it was like their subset.
They also did The Visit, which was really good, and Unfriended. So they've done some.
Okay.
Yeah, Blumhouse is over Paranormal Activity. I didn't know that.
Blumhouse was Paranormal Activity?
Yep.
Wow.
All of them.
That's so
Unless
funny.
Google's lying to me.
No, it's probably it. That's early Blumhouse, so it's easy to forget.
Unfriended, which was good. That was MTV though, but I guess maybe it was a subsidiary. I don't know. Maybe this list isn't accurate.
So there's Blumhouse TV. So Blumhouse TV, I believe, was also this really cool movie called, I think you talked, Torn Hearts with Casey.
I know you've talked a lot about that one.
So that's Blumhouse TV. So
okay.
They've done some TV movies that were pretty good, and but that's the sad thing. Why are you putting the good shit on TV?
I'm telling you, the dash cam thing makes me.
Oh, the dash cam. That's all.
And I didn't like The Gallows. That wasn't one that I liked.
Right,
I thought it was silly.
I mean, Blumhouse can put out a good movie. It's
just they're so unreliable.
They need a reset. They really.
And I swear to you, Steve, I will riot if this is rated PG-13.
Well, that would be stupid.
I would be so mad.
Yeah. And you know what? There's a big chance that it could be, actually.
Not
to rile you up, but I'm thinking of lately with
that's all they've been doing is because it's money makers.
Yeah. I mean, they say I feel like they'll have one or two big R-rated ones, like obviously Exorcist and Insidious is PG-13. The Halloween was R. They'll do one big R-rated one, and then all the other ones will be PG-13. You know.
If this isn't found footage and rated R, I will not give it a chance.
I think that's fair.
I just can't do it.
I won't even tease you to be oh, give it. I think.
Well, and I think I'm open plenty. I think I give plenty of things chances. And sometimes in the case of The Crow, I give things chances other people won't give a chance. So I think I'm allowed this one.
No, you are allowed this one. I mean, it's your favorite genre. It's a milestone
it's influential
movie.
Horror for me.
Yeah. It's important. It's important to you. I mean, I think it's fair.
I wasn't even this hard on the Poltergeist remake.
That's funny. Fair.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not excited. I was really disappointed when I saw Blumhouse was tied to it. Lionsgate, I don't have an issue with.
No, Lionsgate saw.
But Blumhouse
is, yeah. Anywho, I should have gone to Blumhouse. If they're maybe Twisted Pictures, I know they normally just do Saw, but I mean, give it to anyone else.
Or Monkey Paw.
Monkey Paw. Ooh.
Representation. That would be a great one.
Could you imagine what a Jordan Peele take on Blair Witch would have been like? Oh,
so good.
Oh, that would have been so. Or we're gonna bring her up soon, but Anea DaCosta, what her take on something like that would be.
They should work together and do a found footage movie in general.
My God. But
yeah. So anyway, we'll see what comes of that. I'm angry.
Fair enough.
But anyway.
So our next story, Saw 11 has been delayed 1 year. I don't remember reading why they said it was delayed, but maybe the story wasn't ready.
Yeah, they don't have the time they want. They want to spend more time on it. And I love the delivery. Did you watch the video?
No, I didn't. There was a video.
Billy the doll delivers the message.
I love that.
It's really cute. They're marketing like when they did the damn theater thing.
The Nicole
with
Kidman
Billy,
video.
Oh,
Very
they
funny.
AMC made them take it down. I'm like, y'all be mad. That was funny.
Come on, that's it. That's advertisement for AMC. You know
So
what I mean?
good. Anyway, I love what they're doing. They're using him in different ways.
Oh, it's fun. It's iconic. But
No,
yeah,
it
so it's like, again, I think it's totally fine. You know, it goes against the grain of like, you know, the tradition of a yearly Saw movie, right? We got one back. I think we were all sort of hoping and expecting, like, okay, here's the new era. We're gonna get one every year.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, and it makes me think: is you know, did that add to some of the burnout in the original run of movies,
Yeah.
and then sort of the dip in quality towards the end, right? I think with how good Saw X was, I think give it some time. Don't pump it out.
Yeah. No,
like,
Saw X was years in the making. Like,
right.
they
Like
had plenty of time to come up with the concepts and shit for that one.
you shouldn't just pump it. I mean, don't follow up like that movie with a rush job, right?
Please, no, take your time.
But yeah, so I'm totally cool with this. I'm imagining, you as well. So
yeah, no, a huge fan of that franchise. I would rather them take the time and deliver something good. Because see, that was my concern about the Five Nights at Freddy's movies and the Strangers movies, because they were talking about production on these and doing them so fast. I'm like, how? Like, how can you give a movie what it needs and deserves if you're just like, you know, well, FNAF changed though, because originally they were like, oh, we're going to do all these right now, all back to back. No, and they didn't. But I think that's good because they got some things they need to fix before they make another one. But I think that like taking the time, no, I'm here for it, especially for this franchise.
Who's doing the Strangers movies?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not because I know it's not Blumhouse.
It's not Blumhouse, no.
Thankfully. Miramax, I think.
Miramax, yep.
Or no, is it Miramax or Lionsgate? I can't see. Nope, Lionsgate.
Oh, what was Miramax? The original one?
I don't know who did Miramax. I don't remember.
Anyway, yeah, but
it's so tiny on the poster. I had to like
really look, yeah. Yeah, so I got no problems with that. Take your time.
Exactly. We're here. You know, we're waiting. We're seated. We're gonna see it. Yeah. So what's our next scoop?
So there's not much to say on this one, really. It's more of just an announcement of Halle Berry coming back to horror, and being in a film done with Alexandra Aja.
Oh right, yeah. So this is who I was looking up earlier. Alexandra.
Oh, okay. So the film got announced.
High tension.
Yeah, so the trailer looks like a snake or something. I can't tell what it's supposed to be. But the person, and then of course the person who did I can't talk today. It's from the director of The Hills Have Eyes and Crawl.
Yes, that's why I knew the name was familiar. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the Crawl director.
Crawl. No, I can't do Hills Have Eyes, but Crawl is a fantastic film. My son loves that one. And the reptilian scales on this are interesting. It's called Never Let Go. So I think it's going to be a snake movie.
Yeah,
but we'll see. So the synopsis that they have up right now is a family has been haunted by an evil spirit for years. Their safety and their surroundings come into question when one of the children questions if the evil is real. But the cover looks like a damn snake. So we don't see.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe it's like the serpent, like the devil. I don't know, but
Never. Oh yeah, I'm going on to Never Let Go. Looking at this poster here. Yeah, very scaly.
Doesn't it look like scales?
It does look like scales.
It's not due to release until the end of September, but
it could be less. It could be more creature, like paranormal creature versus animal.
I'm interested. Gothica was one of those films that I was just like, oh my god! I grew up. I watched it as an adult. It's not as good, but I used to love it. Like it used to be one of my favorites.
It was very iconic when it first came out. I could still picture
it
like
was
the look, like Halle Berry's look in that movie, and like the poster
and the twist with her husband. You're like, what the fuck Yeah. So
Oh.
and I think she's fine as long as she's not Catwoman. But other than that, I think she's fine as an actress. So I'm curious about this one. And Crawl is good. That was a really good Gator movie.
I'm due for a rewatch. I made
We
my
just
family watch
rewatched
that
it.
movie. Funny enough, so I saw that movie
hmm
when I was in Florida, where it took place. I was, this was before we had our son. I'm on vacation with Dan. We're in Boca, whatever. Go to the movie theater. We see this movie. We're like, well, I hope there's not a hurricane because this is terrifying.
Yeah.
Fast forward years later, last summer, we go with our moms and our son to his parents' little condo down there. And at night we're like, all right, let's watch a movie. The baby's asleep. I'm like, let's put on Crawl. So I watched that movie almost like every time I'm in Florida.
It's a oh my God, a tradition.
Now it is a tradition. It is.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but the way he does
Good.
tension, and I'm not a big Hills Have Eyes
No.
fan anyway, but like the way he does tension, at least with Crawl, is phenomenal.
Crawl is so well done. Such a great movie. My son and I watched it like multiple times every day for weeks when he discovered it. In fact, he mentioned it this morning because I was telling him about the new Shark movie, and he was like, "Are they going to do another Crawl movie? I want to watch Crawl." Like he loves that movie.
I think Crawl's a one and done, unfortunately, but
that's okay though. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, no, I don't think we need to franchise that.
No, I think we're good. I think if they did, it would become stupid.
No, it's one and done. Cool character story with the daughter, and I love the shot. Now this is just becoming a Crawl appreciation conversation, but when she's down there and it like bites up her arm and she starts just firing into the gator.
Oh yes, and it lights the gator up on the inside because it's
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
I love everything about it, and the first time you watch it, there's some really good jumps in it too.
When it first shows up,
out of nowhere before the flooding, yes, like you're just like, and then the dad's like, "There's a gator down here," and she's like, "Yeah, I know." Figured it out
together.
Yeah, no, it was so good. I love that movie. So if this goes in that same avenue, I think it could be really good. I haven't seen Halle Berry in anything in a long time, so I'm sure she's done stuff, but I'm not like if it's not horror,
Was she in? No, I don't remember. I feel like she was in some sort of emergency call. She wasn't. Was she in the show 911? No, but she did. Like there was a movie she did as an emergency caller, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah,
right. It was something like that she did. But
we got spiders. We're getting sharks. Let's get
a lot of creatures. I'm all for it.
Another gator movie. Like I'm here for it. Crawl. I'm telling you. That was good. So
please, if you haven't seen it, guys, please
go watch it. But anyway, so that's that doesn't come out until September 27th, but it's called Never Let Go.
So our next story, everything's got to be a trilogy. We can't wait until we see how the first one goes. But anyway,
God no, we don't have time for that. We're too busy making money.
28 years later is now a trilogy. Now I don't know if I don't remember seeing if it's going to be a part 1, part 2, part 3, or are we getting 28 years later?
They haven't said
28 decades later. Like I don't know. I guess you're not going to do that.
Oh my God, the final one's going to be in space.
28 centuries later. Yeah. Very funny. I could see them doing. I think when we were first looking at talking about this movie. How they skipped months.
Yes.
Part 2 could be a prequel.
Sure.
If they do that, and like that'd be sort of a fun way. The part 2 of the trilogy could be 28 months later, and then you go to 28 years later, part 2, rather than sort of dragging out like one whole story.
Yeah, I'll be curious about this because I feel like I don't know. I just love the first 2 so much.
Yeah.
And there's supposed to be talk of Cillian Murphy. I thought they were talking about him coming back to 28 years, but now I'm like, okay, maybe not. Now they're kind of switching gears a bit.
I don't know. But the cool thing is Ned DaCosta is directing the second one.
Yes.
So, okay. So we love the director.
Dude,
so it's in good hands.
Yep.
So that's cool. So I think, there's positives here. But it is kind of goes back to the like, why does everything have to be a trilogy? Like, what let's just focus on making a really good movie first. If it's really great and there's room for more, sure. But don't overpromise like The Exorcist, be like, oh, a whole new trilogy. And
It was The Exorcist. It was Five Nights at Freddy's. It was The Strangers. It's like,
Mhm.
stop.
like just one.
And it's fine. Like, I think we're really receptive to sequels, but you got to get us time. Like, you can't just be coming out of nowhere with this stuff, especially for iconic films and being like, oh, by the way.
It's the superhero effect too, I think, because
Mm.
Marvel was fine. Marvel never really had this issue as much, but DC, unfortunately, right? Like they would be like, here's our entire slate of movies.
It's so unfortunate too, because in my heart, DC is the superior comic universe, but Marvel makes way, like, infinitely better movies. And so we're just like,
Yeah. So DC sort of unraveled, even though like DC and DC had a really cool lineup at one point. And then they were
yeah.
like, okay,
But
all
you're
those movies
right.
we announced at Comic-Con, we're not
Mhm.
doing those anymore. And it's like, well, okay, maybe don't overpromise or not, or figure out what works before you overcommit. So it's this I think it's a fan thing, right? Because I think,
Yeah.
because now it's sort of like society's hungry for like the news and what's happening. And now studios feel like, okay, we got to like give them news to chew on. No one
Yeah.
wants to be surprised anymore.
Wasn't there something recently that came out of nowhere that we were like, that was so cool. Like, we knew nothing about this and it just like came out of nowhere, but I can't think of what it was. I
Something
know
that
we
we
talked
covered or
about
just
it.
something that
It was a movie. It was like we didn't even know one was being made. I can't remember what it was, but it's been in the last couple months. And we were
oh
like, oh, we didn't even know this was happening. And then it was like, boom, it was here. And we talked about, I remember talking about like how glad we were for that because it was cool that we didn't have any idea.
yeah.
But I can't remember what movie it was, but I do think it was I'm pretty
Was
sure
it a found footage movie?
Mm,
Wasn't like Frogman or something, right?
no. No, it was something that I think we were just like, we had maybe hoped at some point would happen, but didn't know it was happening. And then it happened. And we were just like, oh,
Nah.
I don't know. But
We'll have
to
to
your
go
point,
back and look. I can't for the life of me
I can't remember. But to your point though, like, yeah, they just want to pump out little nuggets of hope.
Yeah. Which it just gets the news articles going, but
Mhm.
let's just see. Whatever. They're not gonna listen to us.
They're not. They only listened when we didn't like Sonic, so they remade him, but that's where they draw the line.
That's it. Which
Yeah.
some people are funny too. They say like they did it on purpose.
Oh,
Made him bad on purpose as like
Yeah.
just a conspiracy theory. I don't think that's true, but people are like, yeah, they probably made it on purpose. That way there was hype around the movie, and then they were like, oh no, here's the actual cool sign.
yeah. I think he turned out looking great. I love those movies. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah, no, Sonic 1 and 2 are phenomenal. But
yeah, they're so good. Yeah.
all right, I think that brings us to some shout outs and recommendations and what you got for everybody.
I'm gonna let you go first. You'll see why.
Yeah. So I just covered a movie with horror theme called Satanic Hispanics,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a delightful just surprise and a fun little anthology. It was 5 segments. 3 were like more straight up horror. 1 was by Evil Lurks and Terrified director.
Mm-hmm.
The main wraparound actor was Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite.
I loved Rick's reaction when you pointed that out. He was like, "That's Pedro."
Amazing. Also, incredible actor. The
No, he
acting was
did great. I didn't know that's who that was. Somebody had to point it out to me too.
The acting was great. Some of the skits were silly. So I know, Angel, I know it's not your thing, but I really liked Il Vampiro. There's like a very What We Do in the Shadows sort of sketch.
Except
then
not
there's
as
a bit
funny
of
as
a
What We Do in the
Buffy-esque
Shadows.
sketch. What?
I said, except it's not as funny as What We Do in the Shadows
It's
because
just
I
not as funny
love
as What We Do in
that.
the Shadows, but it was sort of charming in like a goofy old dad humory kind of way.
Yeah.
But there was some cool ones. Like there was like a shaman tribe story. There was another funny comedy one with a giant penis situation. It was very bananas. But I like what's his name? Jonah Ray.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very Buffy-esque in the costuming and the action. So I appreciated that.
Yeah.
But then it ended. This is funny enough. This is my favorite anthology wraparound segment
Mm-hmm.
I've ever seen in terms of like I think VHS is wonderful as a franchise, but I think they've never quite nailed the wraparound segment.
I
And
agree.
I think we even talked about that in the review.
Yep, I agree.
And as far as other anthologies, I mean, maybe, Trick or Treat, I think as a whole package is phenomenal, right?
Yep.
So I think that I'm trying to think, was there a wraparound segment for Trick or Treat?
No.
No, it was just sort of so there really was no wraparound for that. So honestly, I think it was just the best wraparound segment in any anthology series. So I think that's part of why I really wanted to recommend. So definitely go watch our review.
It is good.
But
Yeah.
in case if you haven't come across the review I did with Horror Fiend, this is my sort of.
If you remember, you can put it in the cloud, and they can just go click on it and watch it.
Oh, that's right. I'll put the link. I'll link their video.
Yeah, it was a super fun conversation. It starts out a little weird.
Oh, is that where they put our?
Yes.
The conversation got a little off.
I was dying. Rick's like, I don't want no cold water.
We talk about some potty hygiene.
It's really funny. I was like, because it started out, I was like, did I fast forward on accident? I was like, oh no, it's going to be like an intro. And then I was like, what are they talking about?
So yeah.
It's funny. But you should go watch the episode. See for yourself. We love Horror Fiend.
But you wanted to go second. You said there was a reason?
Yeah. So my recommendation for this week and every day ever is Us.
No.
I think Steve and I both we focus so much on promoting other people that we don't talk about ourselves enough.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we put a lot of time and energy into the channel because we love it and we love our friends and our community and we love everything that we do, but we don't promote ourselves, I think, as much as we need to. And so I'm doing that now. Okay. If this is your first time ever watching an episode of Voices, we literally have something for every type of horror lover on this channel. From movie reviews to found footage to monsters to makeup stuff that I need to get back to doing, but haven't done in a while, to a couple of Let's Plays. We've done readings, we do interviews, book stuff, movie stuff, eventually comic stuff. We'll announce that when we're ready. But we literally run the gambit on anything you can imagine that's horror related. So if you're a horror fan, but maybe you don't like the books, that's okay. You can still hang out with us. If you are a horror fan and you only like books, that's cool. We do some really great author interviews. So I just wanted to take a moment and talk about our channel. We have really badass merch you can get. Links are in the description for this episode for all of our shows, including a brand new one that just released. Called Cursed Beings, which is a werewolf and vampire double feature showdown, which is a series that I'm doing with Albert from Blood and Brews. But yeah, we're getting ready to kick off some summer franchise lives. Steve and I will have a bunch of guests on, be talking about all kinds of different franchises.
We have a Patreon, which the link will be below. We do so right now our popular tier is the Sticker Club, right? Yay. So Angel designs these phenomenal stickers. These are left over from February. Except from the heart. This was our 3rd anniversary sticker. This is our March sticker. It says
beware the Ides of March.
So we have some left over. So we're holding on to these because eventually we'll do sort of exclusive flashback giveaways.
Yeah. Did you get the other ones?
I did get the other ones.
Oh, good. Okay. I never saw the confirmation that it was delivered, so I was just
sorry.
Sure.
Yes, I do.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
But those will be going out within the week. I know we try to give.
Maybe we'll post and see if there's anybody.
We're going to post about it. We usually sort of give a bit of a grace period for new months. Like if you sign up by a certain point, you qualify for that month's sticker. I don't think I have the sticker next to me. I think it's in my kitchen.
That's okay.
Envelopes, but
no worries.
Yeah, so April's sticker will be going out soon too. But yeah, there's other tiers as well. We don't. Right now we have our Sticker Club, and that's sort of where we're at. But then as we grow, the higher tiers that are available are. You get access to the Patreon. Not the Patreon. You get access to the Discord. But then we're also going to do like watch parties and trivia nights and hangouts and doing sort of different stuff. I mean, if you join like the producer level, you get like a T-shirt and you get to sort of come up with ideas around content and things that we talk about. So there's a lot of flexibility and cool stuff that we're doing with it.
Yeah, and we just don't talk about it enough.
Yeah, it's true.
We both spend so much time talking about other people. We never talk about ourselves. And so I just wanted to take the time during our recommendation portion of the Coffee Crypt and be like, how about us? How about give us a shot?
Oh yeah. And if you help us grow too, I'm waiting on, I just ordered not just ordered, a couple days ago. I don't know why it's taking them a while, but we just gave away a Cavity Colors gift card.
Yep.
For our 800 sub milestone.
And
we're already
vastly approaching 900.
I mean, like we're almost halfway there now. I mean, It's like so grateful for you guys.
Yes.
But yeah, if you help us grow, share, please. Like you have friends that love horror, family that love horror, and send them a video of something that we've talked about that they'll like, or pour some coffee and chill and hang out with us on a Sunday.
Yeah. And I mean, we're so close to like the level of subs that we have to even be considered for monetization. So if you aren't subbed, please consider subbing.
Yeah, we're so close to the big 1K. This is the year. This is
it. I think so. Yeah, I think we're gonna get there. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about us. We never do it. Both of us are guilty. Like both of us, we just spend so much time focused on other people and we just don't talk about ourselves enough. And I think that we're pretty cool.
I like to think so. I think so.
Yeah. So
we hope you do too.
Yeah, we do. We really do. We have a lot of stuff coming up and coming down the pipes, and we just make sure you're here for it.
Yeah. But that's our wrap up for this edition of Coffee Crypt.
Mm-hmm. My Blair Witch rant took us over, but that's okay.
I
had a lot to say.
It's very touchy territory.
There's things that we are very passionate about what we do in general, and so when there's things that are very anyway.
Well, once news starts coming out about that Poltergeist TV show, it's gonna get interesting.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, but anyway, cool. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy your week coming up, and Steve and I will see you in the next one.
See you soon.